What is up, guys, and welcome back to an episode of F122 Mobile Racing Career. We are here for episode number 51 today for the Dutch Grand Prix then in season number 8. If you guys did miss the previous episode, the opener of season 8 at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, be sure to go check that one out. Not the most exciting race, but somehow we managed to come home with a P8 finish in one of the worst cars on the grid, the Aston Martin. And if you guys are missing the memo, be sure to go check out not the previous episode but the episode before that to sort of get caught up on what happened. To simply put it, we got fired by Red Bull, so that's why we are here. We are in the Aston Martin to essentially prove that we still have what it takes to be a competitive driver even in one of the worst cars. Again, we are here at the Dutch Grand Prix, and it's time for qualifying then, as we try to set a decent lap time and put ourselves on a decent spot on the grid. Maybe not like last time in Baku where we were towards the back of the grid. Maybe hopefully in the midfield we can potentially fight for some more points. The car, it's feeling very understeery. Still having to get used to one of the worst cars on the grid. Still having to get used to the fact that this car is very slow in a straight line, number one, and number two, really does not like to grip through the corners. There is a lot of understeer in this car, but I mean that's very easy to say considering the fact we were in a Red Bull, one of the best cars on the entire grid, maybe slightly worse than the Ferrari, but you get the idea here as we try to somewhat wrestle this car, having to adapt my driving style, just really having to try to adjust my braking points here and where I can sort of get on the gas to try and put this car in a decent position here, because the last thing I need is to go understeering wide into a wall here. That would ruin our qualifying even more than it already should have. As you can see, no purple sectors at all. We are so used to seeing the purple sectors in the Red Bull, but what we are seeing here is simply green and yellow sector. So not really ideal, not an ideal start to this, but we'll see how the weekend plays out. Into the final corner, we go through this incredible banking, DRS wide open as we charge our way towards the line. Where's it going to put us for tomorrow's grid? Across the line, it is going to put us P7, then splitting both McLarens and both Mercedes. And so, not the worst one, but could be a lot better. Let's get on to the race, and hopefully we can have a bit more luck there, because that is not really ideal. As we go to the starting grid, then of course we have Leclerc, Sainz, Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton, Russell, us, Norris, Ricciardo, Ocon, Alonso, Bottas, Guan Yu, Gasly, Tsunoda, Schumacher, Magnussen, Latifi, Albon, and well, Vettel rounds out the grid here. The German in last. We're up at 7th, 5 red lights for the Dutch Grand Prix, and it's lights out. And away we go. It's a decent start for us as we move over to the right-hand side to try and cover up Lando. We can do so successfully. Ricciardo's going to try to go on our outside, but we're going to block that off as well. Hamilton gets squeezed out there by his teammate George Russell. We're going to nip up the inside of him and George Russell as we'll try to get up into potentially P5. Yes, we can. And now we're on the outside of the Mexican Sergio Perez. Can we hold this around the outside? Yes, we can, actually. And just like that, we're actually right with the Red Bull team. It'd be a real shame if I were to, pull alongside him and DNF in the race. And you can actually see somehow in the slipstream we're actually keeping up with the Red Bull, even though our car is so slow in a straight line. So much to the point we're actually pushing Verstappen through a lot of these corners here. Let's see if we can try to nip up the inside of the Dutchman here. It would be nice to spoil his party here in the Netherlands. Up the inside, and we go up into P3 with the Spaniard Carlos Sainz up here in P2 in the Ferrari. Leclerc still leads the way here, but we might actually have a shot at winning this race considering how that first two sectors just went. This car is very good, well, at least in our hands, as we set it up the inside of Sainz. A bit of contact there. It was a bit of a late send, but we somehow make it work, and we're up into P2. This is a track where the player can definitely make a huge difference here. The AI don't really seem to be as aggressive in the corners as the player, but as you can clearly see, Sainz and Verstappen are trying both desperately to try to get past me here. As we move our way on to lap 2, then Leclerc has built a 2-second gap in just pretty much a straight alone here. We're going to try to close the gap through the corners as quickly as we can. We do hold up the Dutchman for now as we now make our way towards turns 3 and 4. You can see Leclerc actually, he's not actually that fast through the corners. We make up so much time through this section here, but it's just the straights that really kill us. We didn't take the greatest slide through that long, to that banking left-hander there. That is a little weird though, because you can try to take the inside line, again, minimize the run, or you can try to take the outside line and carry the momentum through this entire section, which probably is the better option to do. It is, of course, as we see, the better option in real life, as we may or may not have absolutely murdered that curb and get ourselves a really stupid corner cut penalty. And this corner cut penalty is really hurting us. That essentially killed us for the entire section there, although it's probably deserved because we absolutely murdered that inside curb. But that now allows Leclerc to get a 2.5-second gap to us with Sainz right on the tail. He's going to try to go around the outside. We're going to get him, though, under braking close the door on him and hold on to P2 for now. But we still got an entire lap though to finish before we can celebrate our podium finish with Aston Martin. So we got to make sure we come home with our nose nice and clean. On to the final lap we go then of this Dutch Grand Prix. I don't think we're going to be winning this Grand Prix unless Leclerc for some reason decides to slow down massively, or I don't know, we just find some incredible pace. But hey, a P2 finish in one of the worst cars on the grid is still going to be great nonetheless. And hey, look, a purple last sector there, showing the pace that the player can have in even one of the worst cars. Just showing again also how slow the AI can sometimes be in this section, in this track. I don't know, maybe that's something they need to fix in future games to actually try to make the series a little more exciting. Anyways, as we make our way onto the main straight, or sorry, one of the winding sections, as we get into the heart of Sector 2 here. Not going to be a purple first sector. Well, actually, it is going to be a purple first sector, just not our best first sector. Easing our way through that long right-hander and now coming into this double right-hander here. Keeping it in 6th and now pushing it down to 3rd as we make our way into the right-hander here. And now trying to somewhat keep up with Leclerc. It's kind of hard, though, as we try to make our way into this left-hander here. DRS is getting ready to be activated at any moment here. But I think the Monegasque driver will have our number as we now make our way onto this back straight. Sainz is 1.5 seconds behind us, so unless we make a big mistake, I think we could be potentially coming home with a P2 here, and maybe a fast lap, I'm not sure. Leclerc, he's right there, the win is right there, but we are going to be just a bit too far. But we are going to come home and celebrate a strong P2 finish then for the Aston Martin team. They're going to be absolutely delighted to see us on top of the podium as we come across the line then to finish P2. Leclerc will take the win. We come in P2. Sainz will round out the podium with Verstappen coming over P4 ahead of Perez, Russell, Ricciardo, Hamilton, and then I think the Alpines finish out. Yep, Alonso and Ocon. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.